Alright, you want to do our intro right here?
That works.
Kind of way up from everybody, ain't we?
That works. There we go.
Hey everybody.
It's a pretty good looking farm here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big pond, ain't it?
Well guys, as you can see, we're not at home. We are in
Navarre Beach.
Which is near
Fort Walton, between Fort Walton and Pensacola.
but more specific, Milton, Florida.
Yeah, Milton, Florida.
And why are we down here?
We came to the Gulf Coast Homesteaders Conference today and tomorrow.
So y'all are going to be catching this after it's over, of course. And we're probably going to show you how to make cornbread in a jar and cheesecake in a jar in today's video. But tomorrow I'm going to learn to make bread with Head Family Farm?
No,
one of the different YouTubers, I can't remember. Alderman?
yeah, there you go, Alderman.
Yeah, Alderman Farm. So we're going to be making bread tomorrow, and lots of different things going on tomorrow at the Gulf Coast Homesteader Conference. So we will be enjoying that tomorrow, and we will get you some little snips throughout the day so y'all can see what we're getting to see. And we'll catch you back in a moment. Yeah. Y'all enjoy today's
Sister's
show.
first time to the beach.
Yep, sister's first time at the beach, guys. Y'all didn't think we left her at home, did you?
Hey, let me say one thing for you. If you can't look at this and believe there's a God, I don't know what to tell you.
Especially that right there. Yeah, so hopefully we'll get to see a pretty sunset. We might not with these storm clouds rolling in. But like I said, y'all stay tuned to the video. We'll catch you afterwards again.
I don't know, it may be your law man right yonder. You get her. First time on the beach for the dog. Oh me. Where we going?
Wherever you say go.
Yeah, I don't want to get right next to nobody.
I thought we were walking the beach.
Well, we will a little bit.
Good morning from the Gulf Coast Homesteaders Conference. So, over in that building, they are set up for different sorts of talks throughout the day. This is all the vendors. Everybody's still setting up. We're early, of course. We are attending a bread making class right here. And then they are setting up for poultry processing over here. So, it's also a rainy day, but everybody's starting to come alive and get busy. Morning, Mark.
Morning.
See, I'm liking, it's still a little bit sticky, but I'm liking the way it feels. See the bouncing, it's getting to it. You see that? It's kind of bouncing back. So I'm going to call this done.
I think there's a little pavilion.
Doing my TikTok for today. No, stay. Come on, sister, come with me. No, come with me. Did you film it? You can't go over there, sister.
Yeah, it may have been a bear. I'll show y'all that tree is twisted. It's pretty cool. The wind must have done that years ago. It's twisted all the way up. It's wild, ain't it? How long was that? Right there ago.
What's that flower you have on me? A faded rose from days gone by.
Listening to the new 105.7, The Legend.
Get over a little bit, baby. You won't be on it. There you go.
Have you seen anything yet?
Really. Well, there's part of your problem.
What is it?
Truck carrying cars.
Oh.
They've probably been hauling the cars out.
Alright guys, today we're going to can cornbread. You heard that right. So basically to can cornbread, you mix up your mix and you put it in jars instead of the skillet. You put it in the oven, and then when it comes out of the oven, you place your lids and rings on it. Isn't that awesome? So we're going to do it. So this is my cornbread mix. You can use whatever recipe you want. You can use Jiffy. That's what most people are using when they do it. Whoops, sorry guys. But we're going to use the recipe on the back of our cornmeal mix. Yep. So we're using that recipe. Now, I did change the recipe just a hair because I added my sourdough starter to it. Right before I fed it, I needed to do some discard and feed it, so I added the discard to my cornbread mix. I shortened the amount of buttermilk I put in here. It calls for 1 1/4 cups, so I just put in a cup of buttermilk, and then I added the discard that I was doing to the recipe with a little pinch of flour to make up for the moisture difference. So my recipe is a little different than that, and it will come out tasting different as well. You do your recipe, and you know, we're going to go through the steps. All right, guys, hang on. All right, now let me get my jars. They've already been sterilized and are ready to go. All right, so we are going to fill these jars 1/3 of the way full, just 1/3, because the dough will rise, as you know. Now, I'm not spraying these jars or anything like that. We're just putting the mix in the jar. And guys, when I get the jar full, we got to wipe these rims down, because as you can see, I am making a mess. But again, 1/3 of the way full is all that I want. So that right there is probably what I want. Okay? Yep. Of course, if you can do it without making a mess, do it without making a mess. Now, this is where I need to give you the disclaimer that oven canning is not approved by the USDA. This is a rebel canning recipe. You will never find an approved cornbread canning recipe. So this is, again, at your own risk. But we're going into winter. It's just me and Mark. We don't eat the whole cornbread pan anyway. So I thought we would give this a shot. Now I'm going to do a couple of these in pint jars also. Again, 1/3 of the way. So let's see what we can do here. How much of a mess do y'all think I'm going to make on the counter here? Yep, there it went, all over the counter. The key of this is make sure your jars are sterilized first. Okay, that's about 1/3 of a jar. Alright, let's get the last one with what's left of this batter. If it don't fill it all the way up, that's okay. So your oven should already be preheating. That way when you get done, you can just set this in the oven on a pan. And this recipe says 425, so you still follow your recipe. But because it's in the jars, it won't take quite as long to make. Okay, guys. We are going to set these on a pan and set them in the oven. Now we're going to wipe the rims off first. That is the only thing I'm going to do to them before putting them in the oven. I'm going to wipe off rims. I'm stealing a little bit from some of these other jars that I probably filled up a little too full. But yeah, wipe your rims, because as soon as they come out of the oven, that's going in, you're going to put the lids on. You're good. I am recording.
Oh, okay.
But you can't see you. But it can hear you.
Well, if you just put music over me and edit me out.
Right.
I love the thing about the internet.
All right, then we're going to pop this in the oven. All the rims are clean. Well, make sure you pull racks out if need be beforehand. Okay, going into the oven now. And we will check back on this shortly. So the package says to bake it for 25 to 30 minutes, so we'll check back in about 20 minutes and see how it's doing. All right, it has been time, guys. Let's check them out. Let's see if they're done. They're not quite done yet. Still need a little more cooking. So we'll push this back in for a few more minutes and come back. Alright, I think they're all done. So we're going to go ahead and pull these out. And we're going to work on putting the jars and lids on them. The lids and rings on them. Oh, they're much heavier now than they went in. Alright, so we already have our rings sanitized and ready to go on. Y'all do be careful. These jars are extremely hot. Gotta get that one separated. Come on, pull apart. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna do that with pot holder. And that one too. All right. So we're gonna put the camera on the stand. And we're going to grab the pot holders and work on tightening these. Alright, so pick it up. Tighten the lid. Don't cinch it down real tight. Y'all know the process. Hand tight is all you need. Whoops, that ring come off. Lid came off. There. And we are just setting them over there on a towel like we always do. Look how we have some good brown in there even. Now these will seal after a little bit. So when these cool down, we'll come back and show you. But they'll start pinging after a minute because it doesn't have a choice except, you know, to ping, to seal, because the heat is pushing everything out of there. So it'll vacuum as it cools, and this lid will sink in, and it'll do what it's supposed to do. All right, we'll check back, guys. Did y'all hear that ping? So they're doing what they're supposed to do.
You tell Mr.
All right, guys, we have emptied out one of the jars just to see what it's like. The texture is awesome and amazing. All of the jars have sealed. Let me show you. All right, so all of these jars are now sealed. Every one of them have pinged. Every one of them, the middle part is down. There is no doubt that these jars are sealed. So these are supposed to be shelf stable. We will update y'all on down in the future to see how they do. But as you can see, it even got some browning in the oven. Guys, now it did not come pouring out of this jar. I had to get a fork in there, which is why it's all broke up on the plate. So if you used a wide mouth jar, it might come out better for you. But this with some butter on it is about to be my lunch. So we will get back with y'all again later and let you know the update. All right, guys, here is a recipe we are going to make today. For the crust, you can use a teaspoon of cinnamon and one of the packages of graham crackers crushed. Y'all, we did this. And I forgot to add the sugar, so my crust is going to be not as sweet as everybody else's. But there is the pack that we used. And so that made up the crust. So we've got the crust ready to go in jars. And then we have this part here for the filling and everything. And here are the instructions. So y'all can pause this video. Y'all can write all this down if you want. But we are going to can cheesecake in a jar, guys. So we're going to put the filling on top of the crust. Now, the filling, you can top it with some pie filling, any type that you want. We're not going to put any pie filling in it. We're just going to have crust and cheesecake filling is all we're going to have. All right, so we're going to put this into our jars. Now, we just have these little jelly jars, and we have set them down in this pan, and we're going to put water in this pan. We've already got our oven preheating. Let me look at that recipe again and see how much we're supposed to put in here. All right, so we're supposed to put a heaping tablespoon in each jar. So let's go ahead and get that done. Well, I have a feeling I'm not putting enough in there. Well, I'm going to come back and, because I got a lot left over, I'm going to finish up all 12 jars, and then I'm going to come back and add a little bit in each. I could have probably gotten 13 or 14 jars out of this. So just so you know, the recipe makes about 13 to 14 jars. We'll see how much I have left over of the cheesecake filling itself. So I'm just going back and I'm mashing it kind of flat in the jars, creating that crust in the bottom. we have already gone ahead and made the filling. I know, I didn't show you that, but it's okay. So what we're going to do, though, is we're going to put it in a piping bag. Guys, I have this piping bag from Cake Decorating. I'm not going to put a tip in it, so we're just going to squish it out the end. Now, do you have to put this in a bag? No, you can probably just take a spoon and spoon it right on in. Alright, we're just going to put this in the jars and let it settle down in there. You know what? Piping bag, not working. Just saying. I think I'm just going to spoon it on in there, guys. Too much work for the piping bag. So the piping bag is neater to a degree, but I think this is working out better. I'll have a little bit more cleanup involved, but it'll be okay. So if you're using filling, stop halfway. For the top, I mean, if you're using the topper, pie filling or something like that, stop halfway in the jar. We are just going to go ahead and use up the mix and fill all the jars evenly. You could get 13 to 14 jars out of this recipe. So keep that in mind. If you're making this, 13 to 14 jars, half pint, will get this done. And leave room for the pie filling on top. All right, now we clean up our jars, clean up our mess, and set this in the oven with water in the pan for 30 minutes at 350. Make sure there's nothing along that rim that will interfere. With this lid's sealing.
I got it out. Oh, you about ready to go?
Yeah, you want to turn the oven off for me?
You want to change shirts too?
Yes, I need to change shirts.
I'm gonna leave sister in the house, man. She's doing good. I ain't gonna push my luck.
Well, let me finish wiping off the rims and at least set lids on top of them.
Yeah, leave her in the bedroom. She'll be out in there for a couple hours. She can get to her toys.
Alright, I'm going to set this in the oven, and then I'm going to pour water in it, so y'all bear with me. Okay, so, got to pour water in the dish. Okay. So now we're going to cook this for about 30 minutes at 350. So we'll be back. Stay tuned. Okay, it's about time to take it out of the oven. This is the stage where you would heat up the topping that you would choose, which would be any pie filling or fruit filling that you want to put on there. You would take the pan of jars out of the oven, you would add the topping, and then you'd wipe the rims and place the flat and ring on there. We are just going to place the flat and ring on the jar and put it back in the oven for a minute, and then after a minute we'll take them out and put them on a towel to cool just like we would everything else. So in 3 minutes we'll start that. Y'all stay tuned. Alright, the timer has stopped. Let's put these lids and rings on. Do remember, everything is hot.
What? What?
It's hot.
What?
You see what's cup? We have a cup over there. Mixer. You want me to just look at it? Right there. Yeah.
What? What? You demon. Oh my gosh. So annoying. Yes. What? Back here. Yes. You not gonna talk to me? There it is. What else? Yeah? Anything else? Yeah?
I don't realize y'all are on camera, right?
Well, then you just say something.
All right, we're taking them out. We're going to put them on the towel. Don't highlight my drink. Which these are clean, the bottom one is not, but I have to take them out of the oven, which is where I store them. Okay. Alright guys, so there are 12 half pints of cheesecake in a jar. So all of these will be sealed shortly if they're not already. That one's not sealed. We heard one ping in the oven. But these will all be sealed. We'll check back out on them after they've cooled, and we'll let you know how they are. Bye guys. Alright guys, I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Y'all make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Yeah, I forgot.
Help this channel to grow.
We comment back to all the comments. We read every comment. We love the comments. And y'all hit that notification bell, especially because every Friday Mark does fireside chats, and every Tuesday I do something with homesteading. And so y'all stay tuned. We will see y'all later, guys.
See you later. Bye-bye.